What's up, everyone? Today we're going to talk about one of my favorite baits that is now available to buy on Tackle Warehouse. I'm going to give away the secret right now. Thanks everyone for subscribing. Please like and subscribe if you like this sort of content. And we're going to jump right into it talking about one of my favorite baits that I discovered from an online site in Japan. I ordered them, really liked them. I actually talked about it in one of my unboxing videos. And I was just kind of experimenting with it. I had never heard of it. It's an OSP DoLive stick. So I posted something about it right then. I had a few people that follow me on social media, on my Instagram, including one guy who fishes the Bass Pro Tour, give me the shh emoji. So I was like, well, maybe these are pretty good. I just was talking about all these new baits that I got, and I started seeing a few hints here and there that maybe I was onto something. And now that bait is available at Tackle Warehouse. Now I really have no incentive to hide this from you. I mean, it's coming out. There's a lot of techniques. There's a lot of baits that work on the mid-strolling technique. I mean, I've mentioned this in some of my other videos, but one of my favorites is the DoLive stick, and I'm gonna tell you about it right now. So like most plastics, there's a few different sizes. You got the little guys like the 3.5, 4.5, and then you got the fat. So this is the 4.5 inch fat. So this is the first one that I used, and I was demolishing big smallmouth on it last fall. And what I noticed about it right away is, one, it's a big bait. I mean, it's 4.5 inches, but just the thickness of it. It casts really well because it's very thick. That's why I guess what they call it the fat. But the action on this is incredible because it spirals down. So even on a basic jig head, you get so much action out of it, just like a dying fish falling down. And you can see that on your live scope. I was fishing with my buddy and he's like, what are you throwing? Because I just keep seeing these swirling things going down. Then I started looking at his live scope. I was fishing from the back and you could really see it. It was just coming in and out of the picture. Something the fish don't see as much, compared to a normal fluke style bait that just kind of darts and kind of glides. This thing spirals. It's also incredibly soft. So, obviously with that, it's going to be less durable. That's part of the game. You're going to get more bites because you're going to get more action, but you're going to go through more baits. So that is one thing that I don't like about it. It's also got this weird smell to it. I don't know what it is, but a lot of the Japanese stuff have like that shrimp scent, that you smell on like the Kitex and things like that. That's kind of what it is. So really like the 4.5 inch fat. It casts really well. It would also be really good just fish like a fluke, like your normal extra wide gap hook or a weighted extra wide gap hook. There's a lot of things you can do with it. I'll talk about this in a minute with the smaller one. It makes a very good chatterbait trailer. I just put one on kind of an experiment, and that great tail action side to side. So really like that tail action of that. I think you get more action than a standard fluke. To me, it's kind of more like the Strike King caffeine shad. It's a little bit thicker. If you fish that before, it falls differently than a regular fluke. Similar to that. That would be the closest thing that I can compare it to. But again, you got that scent and you got all the crazy colors and just something that's a little bit different. So on the smaller sizes, I really like the 3.5 for the mid-strolling technique. And this looks similar in a way to the Yamamoto shad shaped worm, but again, you're gonna have a different feel, a little bit different design, and you still get that spiraling action. I like to fish it on a 3/16 ounce head. It works really, really well. That's a 3.5, and then 4.5 is, compared to that fat that I just showed you, it's the same length, obviously, 4.5 inches, but it's a totally different bait because it's just a standard 4.5 inch, again, like an oversized shad shaped worm. I know they do have a bigger size of that now, so it's pretty similar to that. But I really like them, and obviously they're going to be quite popular here. I was just looking at the website before I posted this, and there's already some colors that are out. Just wanted to give you the heads up. Really like this. I mean, I got a pretty big stock of them already. I kind of went overboard on them, so not too worried about them selling out anytime soon, but they really work. I've had great success here in Texas, with the mid-strolling. I haven't tried them on a drop shot. I'm sure they would work. Again, I put them on the back of a chatterbait trailer, and then I've used that bigger size on a deeper version of mid-strolling, with the 3/8 ounce, catching those big smallmouth in, 30 feet of water, 40 feet of water, 50 feet, those really deep fish where they get in the fall. So really like this bait, OSP DoLive stick. Again, I'm going to keep talking about it, even though I got those emojis, it's just out there. Hookup Tackle's been carrying them for a while, but now you can get them at Tackle Warehouse. And I'll put the links below if you haven't tried it, want to check them out. Just be forewarned, they are a little bit expensive and they are addictive because they catch fish, they work, And I think they work better than a lot of other baits in a lot of situations. Really big fan of the DoLive stick from OSP, which means Osprey Spiritual Performer. It says it on there. Really like that. I don't know what it means, but that's pretty cool. So just giving you a heads up on the new bait that I really like, the DoLive stick. They have a whole line of DoLive baits. You know, they have DoLive Beaver or DoLive. I don't know how to say it, but really like all those plastics. They're different. If you followed any of my other stuff before, I'm really into the JDM tackle. And this is a prime example of why this stuff works. Thanks for watching.